Welcome, Master Ibrahim. First, we would like to inform our viewers that Master Ibrahim is specialized in spiritual sciences and healing through vital energy, as well as a consultant in psychology and metaphysical phenomena. The topic that we are going to discuss today is a topic that has plagued the minds of many, which is spiritual mediation. We shall try through this episode to cover all the details concerning this subject. Once again, welcome Master Ibrahim, and let us start with the first question. Could you tell us what does spiritual mediation mean?
It has become a habit that, when we speak of spiritual mediation, we automatically link it with conjuring souls, or dealing with the dead and conjuring their souls. In reality, this is a flawed concept. Spiritual mediation is not only concerned with this area. Spiritual mediation means that there are plenty of material and physical objects around us that are realized by the normal senses of the human being. There are even more metaphysical objects are around us that we cannot realize with the normal senses. Therefore, spiritual mediation is the tool that enables the human being to deal with the physical reality as well as the metaphysical one. This is spiritual mediation, just like we hear in television shows. Medium is the one who deal with both the physical and metaphysical worlds.
So, who is a spiritual medium?
A spiritual medium is a person who is able to realize the metaphysical worlds through his inner metaphysical subconscious systems. The human being possesses specialized systems for physical realization, which are the five senses. He also possesses metaphysical abilities, which enable him to realize the metaphysical matters, in other words, enable him to be compatible with those dimensions. Some people possess abnormal abilities in connecting with the metaphysical worlds. Those people are called spiritual mediums. A medium is able to do many things, and we are going to discuss them during this episode. We shall discuss abilities such as conjuring spirits, whether those are real or not, because a spiritual medium is not limited to this, but is able to deal with all metaphysical matters in general.
What are the types of spiritual mediation?
Spiritual mediation comprises of several categories. The first category is the ability to deal with the consorts, plural of consort, which is the attached devil with every human being. This person has the ability to communicate with the consort of another person, but what exactly are consorts? Consorts are species of jinn that are present beside the human being, and they are assigned to him at the moment of his birth. Their world is not seen by the human eye. Some people possess the ability to sense that world, for they have an abnormal ability to communicate with the consort, either by hearing it or seeing it, though it is very difficult, but not impossible, for a person to see the consort. Let me take a moment to make something clear. When I speak of the categories of spiritual mediation, I am not talking about the negative or positive abilities. I am talking about the subjects in general, for there are both negative and positive abilities, though, and I shall point out which is which afterwards. As I have said, the first category of spiritual mediation is dealing with the consorts. The person who possesses this ability is able to know the actions of another person by communicating with that person's consort. The other person may become surprised as to how personal information were known by the other person. The second category is dealing with demons. The world of jinn is separated into several species, but we shall not discuss all of them now, for some are believers, some are not, some are good, some are bad, some are Muslims, some are Christians, some follow other religions. Just like humans, the demons are a species of elves. Therefore, a demon is specialized in evil doings. Some people, by performing certain rituals, are able to deal with demons, and are called demon servers. Those people deal with demons, and so they are able to get information from here or there, but they do not interfere with the metaphysical. Instead, they come to their own conclusions, based upon the demon that has brought in this information, at high speed and efficiency, from anyone this person desires. Of course, this issue is not legal, but this is a long subject, and I am going to discuss the mediation part of it only. The third category of spiritual mediation is the practice of black magic. Black magic has become a very rare practice, but there were times when black magic was readily practiced, and those who practiced it were punished. One example of this was in France, for whenever they found a sorcerer, they would burn him alive, because he had dealings with the devil. Black magic had a great impact, for it is a science, and was taught in certain establishments at that time. Of course, this has now become very rare. Black magic was used to harm other people, and it is considered a form of mediation because it deals with worlds other than ours. The fourth category is supernatural hearing and seeing. Some people possess the ability to see beyond the physical and are able to attract and observe matter that exists in the ultraviolet and infrared frequencies. Those people are able to see what is beyond the physical, for as this person was in a room, he would be able to see objects in the next room, even if the door were closed. This is called supernatural sight. This ability is not limited to seeing objects beyond a physical barrier, but it is sometimes a stepping stone to the soul. This person, because of his abilities, is able to see through great distances, as mentioned in the story of a woman called the Blue Dove, who was able to see troops approaching her village 3 days before their arrival. Of course, she was not able to achieve this by using her physical eyes, but through the ajna, third eye chakra. Also, there is supernatural hearing, where a person with this ability is able to hear sounds which could never be heard, using the physical ears. The fifth category is sensual or perceptual unveiling. This person would have developed a sixth and seventh sense, for these powers are those of the soul, and he was able to unlock them. Through those senses, this person would be able to sense events yet to happen, and if these abilities grew stronger, this person would be able to predict quite accurately events yet to happen. This person would have very strong senses as to what the future might bring. The sixth category is spatial unveiling. The person who possesses this ability is able to travel through his soul from one place to another. Our viewers might be wondering if that is possible. Yes, it is now possible, for in the United States there is currently an electronic device that helps launch the soul and bring it back. Whereas, in previous times, spiritual travel had been taught by first studying the spiritual systems for 5 or 6 years in order to enable the soul to travel outside the body for only a few minutes to learn a few things, then return. Now, this is possible by using electronic equipment, and this matter is studied a scientific way. The seventh category is supernatural sense of smell. Some people, by smelling an object which belongs to a certain person, is able to know all the details of this person's life, as if this smell reminds them of certain traits that belong to this person, even if they do not know him. The eighth category is spiritual unveiling. When a person becomes deeply aware of his inner spiritual levels, he becomes more of a creature of light than a creature of material. Therefore, his ability to attract or sense the other ethereal worlds around him becomes stronger, and his spiritual senses become much higher. This person is able to feel many things around him because of his heightened spiritual senses, both materialistically and ethereally. As you have noticed, there are both negative and positive categories of spiritual mediation. The negative categories, or negative sciences, should not be practiced by any person, unless this person has enough power. This is not because he could die if he was to practice them, but he would definitely pay dearly if he were to do so in terms of his soul, his relationships and family. Because demons do not serve without payment. If a demon wishes to serve a human, he does not do so because he wants to help him, but because he wants to do harm, so he will make the human pay the price of his services. As to the categories concerning spiritual powers and capabilities, these are beautiful and positive because they do not manifest in a human unless he elevates to a certain level of inner spiritual awareness and connection with God Almighty, and in retrospect with everything around him, in order for him to become a complete being who is in total collaboration in terms of self, energy and soul with everything around him.
Is spiritual mediation dependent upon faith?
Spiritual mediation is concerned with faith if the benefits that the person hopes to achieve are concerned with spirituality. When we speak of the spirit, as we have mentioned in previous lectures, you could either do positive works to increase its good credit and its ability to reform, or you could do negative works to increase its ability to do harm. If the case were, if spiritual mediation in general is concerned with faith, then we say no, it is not. However, if the category of spiritual mediation that a person wishes to learn depends upon true and honest mediation that is based upon helping others and reforming this earth, then yes, it is concerned with faith, because the basis of it is elevation of the soul and enlightenment.
What are the traits of a true spiritual medium?
If we wish to call a medium a true spiritual medium who is not fake, the first thing to look for is if his powers could be proven. Another matter is if the goodness of these powers could be proven, because some of these powers are concerned with demons. This is not true mediation because it is temporary to gain powers. The medium would have struck deals with demons in return for whichever they desire, and these powers would vanish as soon as the deal ends, or he continues striking new deals and so sink deeper into harmful ways. As for true mediation, it is derived from true spiritual energy by having a strong connection with the inner subconscious bodies and thereby with the Creator of all things, in order for light to overtake his whole being. This is true mediation. Of course, not every medium possess all the powers described above, for some may have only one, and every medium is different from the other. All the powers of spiritual mediation could never be accumulated in a single person unless he has immense spiritual powers.